The Rangers have found their next star. There's been a lot of hype around a number of players this offseason, but the Blue Shirts have an athletic freak that nobody is talking about. I break down who that is in just a moment on another sizzling edition of Rangers Digest. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. We are built for Blue Shirt fandom, and I am your host, Bret Botfeld. It is great to be back with you guys for another week here on the channel at Rangers Digest. It is a beautiful sunny day, the 4th of August, and we got a lot to get into here today, folks. But before we do that, a quick reminder that about 77% of you who currently watch these videos are still unsubscribed to the channel. So please hit that free subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. Not only that, guys, so you could be part of something special here at Rangers Digest. Let's waste no more time and hop right into today's video. So I was reading an article this morning from Jim Cerny at foreverblueshirts.com. They do an absolutely tremendous job over there. And the headline was, it caught my eye here, folks. Rangers prospect EJ Emory impresses with a slick assist at World Junior Summer Showcase. Emory, a standout stay-at-home defenseman, set to enter his sophomore season at the University of North Dakota, doesn't find his way onto the score sheet very often. He had an assist in his NCAA debut last year with North Dakota, and it ended up being his only point in 31 games. This was certainly frustrating just for the mere fact that obviously after EJ Emory scores that first point in his first game of his collegiate career, it certainly got many fans' hopes up, including myself, that he was in for a big freshman season. As you saw right there, over his next 30 games, did not record a point. But we're going to continue breaking down this player throughout the video, the good and the bad. He's the first NHL draft pick in NCAA history to record just a single point in a season. Emory hasn't scored a goal in college, USHL, or international play since the 2022-2023 season. As you can see right there, he hasn't scored a single goal yet in college, which I just said before is a little bit concerning. But the Rangers drafted this player for his freaky athleticism, for his shutdown defenseman ability. So the offense that the Rangers will eventually be able to pry out of Emory will certainly be just a cherry on top, and I certainly hope they are able to do that. I want to get into a quote here from Stephen Ellis of Daily Faceoff. All right, guys, Emory is one of the best shutdown defenders in this tournament, but it was nice to see him make a great long-range pass on USA's first goal. He doesn't get a ton of points during a season, but he knows how to get the puck where it needs to be. This is certainly encouraging here coming from Stephen Ellis. You can see that he says that EJ Emory knows how to get the puck where it needs to be, and what that signals to me is that this is a player with high hockey IQ, which the Rangers can certainly use a bit more of, obviously, after the season they just had. Just 19 years of age, right-handed shot defenseman, 6'3", 185 pounds, obviously the former first-round pick of the 2024 draft, number 30 overall. There's some good, there's some bad when it comes to this player. Like I said, he has impressed with his athleticism at the NHL Combine. That's what a lot of scouts were talking about. He's a highly skilled skater with good top-end speed. He's a good poke checker, which is different from forechecking, guys. Poke checking is extremely important, especially on the defensive end, because he utilizes that long reach. Like I said, standing at 6'3" tall, certainly uses that reach, but it is not all good when it comes to Emory. You know, he has that penalty kill specialty, which will certainly be a benefit for the Rangers in a few years from now. But this is a player that is under 200 pounds, just 185 pounds, very tall, very lanky, very little offensive upside, guys. As you saw, very little offensive production. Doesn't feel very calm while controlling the puck. Doesn't feel comfortable with the puck. But like I said, this player is known for his defensive capabilities, and I hope that the Rangers will be able to pry some offensive ability out of him, over these next few seasons, because that would certainly be a cherry on top, no doubt about it. The 19-year-old appeared in 31 games in his first NCAA season, averaging roughly 20 minutes, and finished 6th on the team with 29 blocked shots. He missed 7 games, 6 due to a lower body injury, and 1 after he was suspended for a late-game incident with top Minnesota Wild prospect Zeev Buium of Denver on February 15th. So a lot to break down in this chunk right here. As you can see, 6th on the team with 29 block shots. So basically a little less than 1 block shot per game, which is not the worst. You can see 6th on the team. But this is a player that I really hope develops into more of a shot blocker as he gets older, as he starts to fill into that frame. Like I said, just 185 pounds. Hopefully, he could get himself up to 200. That's something that I like about Malcolm Spence, who I spoke about in a recent video, who the Rangers just recently drafted 43rd overall. He's just 18 years of age, and he has a nice solid frame, over 200 pounds, 6'1", has really filled into his frame nicely. But when it comes to EJ Emory, still a very tall, lanky, wiry type of defenseman, but I do believe that he will fill into his frame. Missed 7 games, had that lower body injury. That's never good news. Was suspended for a late game incident. Hopefully he cleans up his act there a little bit. I do like that, that little fire and desire, that tenacity. Certainly good to see that snarl, but going to certainly want to clean up his act there a little bit. And the Rangers want to see more production offensively from Emory. I just spoke about it. Not much offensive upside, as he gets older and his all-around game develops. But they're unconcerned about his point total last season, instead focusing on how well he played a shutdown role as an 18-year-old in his first season of NCAA play. And now I want to get into a quote from EJ Emory himself talking about that lack of production. He said, "It just shows that I've got something to work on. You always want to work on something to get better. And this is certainly encouraging to see as well, because it shows me that Emory, at his raw age, he's got that will. He's got that want to. He wants to be great. He wants to be better. He understands that as a defenseman, he is very good, but there is still a lot left to be desired when it comes to his offensive game. And I really hope that the Rangers will be able to develop that as he continues to develop at the collegiate level." And now I want to get into a quick quote here from the New York Rangers Director of Player Development, Jed Ortmeyer. He said about EJ Emory, "He had a really good year. He's one of the youngest defensemen in college hockey as a true freshman." So as you can see, Rangers Director of Player Development felt that Emory had a very good season, talking about his raw age, talking about that raw frame. Like I said, this is a player that just turned 19, just 185 pounds, only 1 year under his belt at North Dakota. This player has top 4 upside, no doubt about it, because of that defensive specialty that he brings to the ice on a night-to-night basis, because of that penalty kill specialty that he can provide the New York Rangers and the Blue Shirts blue line moving forward. And it would certainly be fascinating to see these young kids on the blue line develop together, because, like I said, we haven't gotten much offensive production out of Emory, but I'm not too concerned about it because that's not what the Rangers brought him in to do. The Rangers already have quite a bit of young defensemen with a good offensive arsenal, skill set, upside. I'm not just talking about the 27-year-old Adam Foxes of the world. I'm talking about Braden Schneider. I'm talking about newly acquired Scott Morrow. These type of young players that have that offensive skill set. The Rangers don't need to have an influx of these type of defensemen. Last year, one of the worst in the entire league when it comes to their defense. So what would be the point of bringing in all these offensive-minded defensemen? It just wouldn't make much sense. Like I said, with Scott Morrow, that's a different story. He was an absolute steal in that Keandre Miller deal. He is improving on the defensive end, but he does have that offensive upside. I believe Scott Morrow will be the Rangers' future quarterback on their second power play unit. And not only that, but in a few years from now, I believe EJ Emory will be a penalty kill specialty. Excuse me, I'm getting my words all mixed up here. He will be a penalty kill specialist for the New York Rangers moving forward. So there is a lot to like when it comes to the Rangers' future, when it comes to their future blue line. But I am fascinated to hear what you guys think about EJ Emory. Not only that, leave your comments about Malcolm Spence, Scott Morrow if you'd like, but certainly on EJ Emory. Do you believe that the Rangers will be able to develop him into his full potential? Because as we know, they've done a good job at identifying talent, bringing in that talent, but not being able to develop them to reach their full potential. I am certainly bullish when it comes to EJ Emory. Leave your comment down below. Also give us a follow on X at Rangers Digest YT, because the conversation always continues on X and in the comments section. If you still haven't hit that free subscribe button, hit that button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.